Well, hello everybody. It's Rob Travels with Dottie, and it is Thanksgiving Day today. It's the 27th of November, 2025. And it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've pretty much completed my Thanksgiving. I'm going to show you bits and pieces of that. But what I really want to talk to you about first is, what are these holidays like as a nomad, as a full-time RVer? And let me tell you about what my experience has been in that regard for the last 4 years. Usually I'm in Quartzsite. I'm in New Mexico now. I'll be in Quartzsite in just a few days. On Monday, I'll be in Quartzsite for the season, and usually I'm there a couple of weeks earlier. So I'm always there for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, the three big ones, three big holidays. And it's at times like this can be a real struggle for many people for a variety of reasons. Holidays, people that come from families that either aren't there anymore or there aren't pleasant memories about it. Holiday times can be painful. There could be missing a spouse that has passed on, missing parents, missing siblings, grandchildren. There are all sorts of reasons why the holidays aren't a joyous, wonderful thing for all people. And I find nomads in particular tend to struggle quite a bit with it. And so, how do we compensate? To me, being an effective nomad and being in this community, a lot of it is about compensating, adapting, overcoming. And I find it a community that does that routinely, and it's often can be painless and easy to do. In the first thing I think of when I say that is how easy these three holidays can be in Quartzsite. If that's in, why do I keep saying Quartzsite? It's because that's sort of the mecca of where nomads go in the winter. Virtually all my nomad friends at some point converge together in Quartzsite for the winter months, and every year it's a big reunion, and there's a lot of sadness at the end of the season when we all go our separate ways for the rest of the year, and with the promise that we'll see most of them again the next season in Quartzsite. But let me tell you what I've done in Quartzsite. I've done a couple of different things. One is these larger camps that I've talked about, and I'll put my video at the end of this. You can click on, there's a video about two big, well-established camps in south of Quartzsite in the LTVA area called La Posa South, where every year people gather together and camp together, and they're both open camps, meaning that they go out of their way to say, hey, anyone is welcome to come camp with us. And so you get a real diverse and large group of people. One camp is more sort of partiers, and the other camp is more quiet, but depending on your taste, that's the thing that may drive your decision. But a thing they both do very well is they have definitely huge potlucks for both Thanksgiving and Christmas. In fact, this morning when I was in Facebook, I ran across, let me see if I can find it now on Facebook. Q Camp is one of them, and let me pull up the Facebook group for Q Camp. Come on. Am I using the right words? Oh, it's the original Meet and Q is the name of the Facebook page. And I think there was an announcement this morning on it. There's lots of posts on it for sure. One of the things that they do raffles and events, uh, raffle to benefit the Quartzsite Food Bank. And there's so many posts on this. It's called the Original Meeting Queue. And I'm looking for the original announcement on Thanksgiving, but I don't see it. But I'll give you a synopsis of the last few. Raffle finished. Total raised is $166, and there's pictures of people at the potluck. Here's a post of Thanksgiving 2025 at Q Camp. It's great turnout and plenty of food. Thanks to everyone for the food and sharing a Thanksgiving meal with us. Another one, thank you everyone for this wonderful feast. And you can see, here, take a look at all the pictures of what it's like. Doesn't that look good? So that's what I've done. The other thing that I've done many times is I have a group of friends and we make, one year we did this for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. We make a pilgrimage from Quartzsite up to Parker to the Blue Water Casino up in Parker, and they have a $25 fancy buffet, holiday buffet for each one of those days, and we would all go up there and do that. And I had friends that were there today. They were sending me pictures and pictures of the prime rib they were eating. $25. It's pretty good price for a fancy buffet. So that's there are also restaurants, and I think the senior center has Thanksgiving and Christmas meals. The camps that I talked about, I think both of them, the one's called The Spot, for sure, they have a New Year's Eve bash. I guarantee you they will every single year. So this is one of the ways as nomads that we compensate for not having a traditional home where we stay in traditional family and things like that. So we make our own families and we make our own celebrations, and everything that I've been involved in is all inclusive. Everyone's welcome, right? And there are people that come that maybe can't afford to bring a side dish or something, and no one cares. No one thinks about that. It's not, there's no absolute requirements. It is open fellowship for people. And I've had a good time going to every single one of those. Now you may be wondering, well, Rob, what did you do today? Well, where I live in, outside Artesia, New Mexico, in a little community that I am, we had this wonderful potluck. Now, I'm going to show you footage of, the lower part of some people, but mostly just the food, because people don't want to be on social media. But this will give you, this footage will kind of give you an idea of what it's like.
But
apple. Just following along. I'm just eyeballing.
And then I thought it was great too, because the grease was making it so that's like all the birds were like 20 degrees higher than the.
Can I get a peek for the camera?
So then I had to take them all out, rotate them, put them on different shit. I was like, man, good thing I helped.
Yeah.
Very nice. Love it.
Oh, really?
Perfect. Thank you. Now, didn't that look good? And trust me, it was good. And what you wonder what my contribution was? I was one of the pumpkin pies you see on the pass on the dessert table, and I slaved over that all day. No, I went to Walmart and well, you saw my video where I bought the bought the pumpkin pie at Walmart. But that was my contribution, and I really had a good time. You know, I ended up sitting with people that I hadn't met yet, and I met some new people, and actually a couple a couple of visitors that were coming through. So that was really sort of an amazing thing for me to, and it was my first holiday celebration here in my new neighborhood. So I'm pretty happy with that, and I'm sorry I'm going to miss Christmas here, but I'll be celebrating Christmas in Quartzsite, and my bet is we'll see that I end up at the what's wrong, Dottie? That I end up at the Blue Water Casino again for Christmas this year. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll do something else. You never know. The perspective is going to be different for me because I'm going to be staying in town this year for the first time. So there might be something at the RV park. I bet there will be. And if I do that, guess who's going to come along with me? You're going to come along with me. So anyway, if you're thinking about being a nomad or you are a nomad and you struggle with holidays, this community can make that struggle a little bit more bearable. You know, I'll guarantee you go to these places and the potlucks, there are going to be other people that have similar feelings about holidays that you do, and you might find new friends and bond with them, and there's strength and hope in numbers, and that's really what the nomad community is all about, and it's why I absolutely love it so much. I was thinking in talking to people today over the dinner, and I'm looking, you know, I had the turkey and the stuffing and mashed potatoes and traditional meals, and it every time I have, you know, I'm sure I've attended. I'm sure this is my 65th Thanksgiving. I don't think I remember the first two or three, but I was there. I guarantee you I was there for those Thanksgiving dinners. But there's few things more uniquely American than a traditional Thanksgiving dinner with either friends or family or both. And I think it's a tradition that has always been very close to my heart, and I look forward to the company. It, you know, it was I don't know about your childhood, but it was a time where people came in back home. You know, I had brothers and sisters in college, aunts and uncles, or grandparents might come. It was when families came together, and you would fill the dining room table, which otherwise is never filled on during normal times. And then there was you always had overflow tables, like a card table that would end up being what did we call that? That was the kids table. I spent many years at the kids table wishing, boy, I hope someday I'll be able to sit at the big table with the adults. Well, eventually I did. And I had many of those Thanksgivings in the little bedroom town outside of Rochester, New York, with my family. And then years since then, I would go to the homes of my brothers and sisters, my sister Annie in Ithaca, and my sister Margaret, who was also in Ithaca. I would visit them frequently, and then quite a few I had with my brother Frank in Idaho and his boys and extended family. And I just have this enormous wealth of warm feelings and memories about Thanksgivings in various places in my life. I can think back to when I lived in Dallas. There were more than once. I think I hosted Thanksgiving dinners for a group of friends, and that was very rewarding. I remember I stepped out of tradition, and one Thanksgiving I made. Are you ready? I made from scratch beef Wellington. Yeah, I made beef Wellington, and I think I have a a picture somewhere of me. I'm in my early 30s, standing in in the kitchen in an apron with sort of flour all over my hands and kind of on my face. That was the part with kneading and making the dough that goes around the beef for beef Wellington. So those wonderful memories. And now here I am, retired, on the road, a RV, full-time RV nomad, making new memories that are just as precious as the old ones. And you could definitely do that too. You just need to, if this is your dream, go for it. Be part of it. And you'll be welcome at those places that I've talked about in Quartzsite. Take care, and I'll see you on Black Friday tomorrow. Bye.